Hello, everybody. It's Kathy here. I am talking today about how we can create the most beneficial change in our lives through acceptance. It seems like change and acceptance do not go hand in hand, but kind of ironically, the biggest, most amazing, beneficial changes happen in your life by way of total acceptance. Just to cut right to the chase about energy, everything that we judge as good or bad, right or wrong, is polarized. So when you're in total acceptance of yourself and everything in the outside world, there's no polarity, there's no good, bad, there's no right, wrong. If you want to change something in your life, chances are a change is in order, okay? But the change starts within, because the first and most crucial step that is so often overlooked is to come to a place absent of judgment, of total acceptance, of pure neutrality. Some call this the 0 point. When you are able to resolve any judgments, any separation within you, about yourself, about any situation, about every situation. From that place, change happens that is amazing. Now, just to make it very clear, scientific, if you will, when you make change out of judgment, we'll say, this is wrong, I don't like this, so I'm going to put some energy forward and change it. That energy that you're sending out is polarized. It is split. And in the old, I'll call it the old energy, is dualistic. In the old energy, every action has an equal and opposite reaction, because you have put forth this polarized, dualistic energy. It's the energy of judgment. It's the energy of emotion. So it boomerangs back at you into your life. And so these same types of situations, things that you judge, will keep coming back to you, keep boomeranging back to you, keep coming back to you until you resolve the judgment within. Okay? So the very thing you're trying to change, you keep recreating it over and over and over and over. Now, how do we go beyond that? Well, it's simple. I'm not going to say it's always easy. Why isn't it easy? Because your ego and your mind will hang on to your judgments for dear life, as though they are dear life. Because honestly, your ego does not want to die. It is created of survival. Its job is survival, and it will do everything to survive. So if you're battling something, you're judging something as good or bad, you're upset about your a lot of common judgments are pity and empathy, victim mentality, lack, blame. Here's a really big one. Most of our judgments have to do with being identified with this world, with society, with our families, with keeping up with the Joneses, the neighbors, with what's going on way over there when it has nothing to do with us. But a really huge one is your body. So another tip for allowing beautiful changes to kind of happen on their own is to not identify with anything. So how many of you listening fully accept your bodies? The shape, the size, your hair, your eyes, your skin, your age, be it how it feels to move around. Do you fully accept everything about your body? I don't know a lot of people that do. And again, the irony here is the more you judge your body, the more you're going to create those energies, those emotions that keep the same, quote, your perceptual problem. It's going to keep that problem in place. And so this is a case of identifying with your body. Now, I will tell you right now, you're not your body. I am this eternal essence, this spirit, this awareness, whatever you want to call it. I'm not my body. When my body disintegrates back into the earth, I will go on. So, if you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see and you're judging yourself, you might consider, again, this is a judgment, the body to be ugly, but that has nothing to do with you. If your body's old, it has nothing to do with your age. If it is having sensations, breakdowns, different problems, quote, health problems, that has nothing to do with you. So being able to disidentify with your body, with your mind, the thoughts that float around that sometimes come into your awareness, or perhaps you engage them and you chew on a little bit, those thoughts have nothing to do with you. So a big, I'll say, tip, an easy way to go into this is to step back from everything and really feel your essence, your presence, who you are, what you really are, maybe asking, feeling into it. And that might be different for everyone, but if you're here listening, chances are you're aware that there's more to you than this physical body and these thoughts. And also not letting the world identify you, not identifying with, I'm a parent, I'm a this, I'm a that, where I live, the city, the state, the country, things that are happening out there, not letting that define you, identify you. So when we step back and disidentify from everything, that is one way to really easily release judgment. So how does change happen then, right? How do we change stuff? Because like I said, if you are wanting to change things, there is something to be addressed, I'll say. And that something, again, starts inside with releasing judgments of good, bad, right, wrong. And that is a whole topic within itself. If you have a practice, any practice, the core of everything that I've done and experienced and what has worked for me is pure awareness, just being the pure awareness with every thought, every sensation, every feeling, everything going on within me and outside of me. And when you are in a state of pure consciousness, pure awareness, you can also call it the pure essence of your spirit or eternal self. When you come into that space, then everything just is, and you allow everything to be what it is, okay? Great tip for coming into that space is feeling your presence, just feeling your presence. I do that, I'm always doing it now, but I used to do it every time I'd get to a new location, park my car, take a breath, feel my presence, and move. Another way to do that, and I'll say it's one and the same, is your breath. So oftentimes, just staying in your breath, just staying in the flow of your breath. Whether you're driving, you're walking, you're sitting, you're reading, you can feel your breath underlying while you do everything. It's like being in your state of awareness and consciousness underlying every moment of your day. And there's times where you get busy and that kind of moves out, obviously, but that's a tip. Now, making change from that place. When you are not judging and you are fully present in your breath, when you have, we'll say, resolved the judgments, and perhaps you're aware there's still some judgment in you and it's a sticky one and it's hard to let go of. You allow it to be there, again, going back to your awareness, but it's opening the door, creating space for the possibility that this is not true. If you're not able to, cognitively say, well, here's why this isn't true. Ultimately for me, I'm an eternal presence, and this human reality is a temporary thing. So there's layers and levels of truth, and ultimately it's choosing love over judgment in every situation and seeing the beauty in everything. And it's not about positivity or negativity, because if you go positive, we'll say sort of probably accidentally create a negative outcome. If I'm going to be happy because of this, then there's always an opposite side to that coin. And I'm going to then be sad if the opposite thing happens, right? So seeing the beauty in everything is more going into your clarity. It's more into an overview of creation as your eternal self. Ultimately, the you is one with all of creation and is innately aware of, we'll say, the highest truths. So as you stay in your essence, in your presence, in your breath, as you stay, we'll say, out of duality, out of judgment, and you just choose that you're not going to judge anything. And perhaps the main reason you choose that is simply because you want to enjoy your life and you want a healthy body and not to feel heavy and dense and the roller coaster of emotions. As you choose that and you step back and watch, you're in this space, this spaciousness of absent of, thoughts and needs to change and needs to do and needs to push. There's not that push-pull energy. You don't need anything to change and you don't have to force anything. And when you're in that place of total neutrality, the neutrality of your heart, we'll say, for one thing, awareness arises, clarity arises with, oh gosh, this would better complement me. And it's going to be a choice. Instead of that, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. This choice that arises from your true self is one of beauty. It's one of, I will describe it as continuously expanding rather than it coming back around. This change is going to just continue to open up more opportunity for growth and change and enjoyment. It's created out of a pure energy that is not polarized. It's the energy of your heart, the heart of manifestation. It's your essence, it's your purity, it's pure manifestation. Okay. And it's always going to complement you when you're in that space of awareness beyond judgment and total acceptance, and you're just able to be in your body, in your presence, in your awareness. Your intuition becomes very clear. Your voice, if you hear the voice of your soul, your spirit, you might feel it, know it, but that becomes very, very clear. And the guidance has nothing to do with fixing a problem or changing something or because something is wrong. It is out of love. It's out of inspiration. It's out of beauty. It's out of enjoyment. So the change, instead of trying to battle and fix a problem, becomes like, oh, wow, this is amazing, right? So from that space, all of your change arises. Now, when it comes to people in your life, this is like so important. And I know so many people that are into this type of work or lifestyle, what do you even call this, that are awake and conscious and always expanding and choosing that path of embodiment of the, merging and the melding of your true essence into this human body and your whole human life. Those of us who do this, we know that there's points along the way where you have huge ahas, like, oh my God, this is so great. And you want to tell everybody. And everybody goes through a phase where then they kind of want to fix people in their lives, or they want to, like, it's sort of like, I've seen the light and now I want to sing it on a mountaintop and tell everybody that they should be seeing it too, right? So if you've ever experienced that, or, I'm a parent, I've been a leader, I've run businesses, groups, a household, being in charge of children. If you're in those roles too, this can be very helpful for you. So if there are things that you can see, where you can see somebody tripping over their own feet, maybe you can see they're doing things that aren't complimenting them, that they're struggling, maybe they're emotionally just really having a hard time. The beauty of fully accepting everything is we no longer impose ourselves onto other people. We don't try to fix anybody. We don't try to change them. When you completely and fully love them and embrace them as they are, and see that, again, through acceptance, you will see that, they're the ones that the only ones that can choose to want to change something in their lives. When you're in that space of just acceptance and loving them, you're open and receptive. Then eventually, most likely, if they see that you're living in a state of, we'll call it ease and simplicity, because you don't have any problems to fix, most likely they will come to you and ask you for your advice. They'll start sharing with you. They might say, how did you do this? Or, hey, I'm having this problem. So it's very crucial, if there are people in your life that you love, really one of the most effective ways to assist them is to go in and resolve your own judgments, your own beliefs, duality, and bring everything into the neutrality of your true essence. And when you do so, it's automatically going to affect others around you. But just like everything, if you try to change them, you're judging them. You're judging, even if you feel bad for them, that's a judgment. You're basically saying everything is not in divine order for you. You shouldn't be going through this or whatever. It will sort of backfire. It's going to keep anchoring that situation in for you and for them. So when you accept them fully and you hold them in just a space of, total acceptance, it really opens up the energy for them even to take a breath, instead of feeling like you're energetically kind of coming down on them. And in that breath, in that space, then they might start questioning, how can I change this, or what can I do, or why is this happening? Maybe come and talk to you. So that's how we can facilitate change that is the most beneficial for everyone. It comes through total acceptance. In the space of total neutrality, you have clarity beyond your judgments. So I hope this helped. Maybe there's something in your life going on that you can apply this to. But just remember, if you're trying to change something out of judgment, those actions are going to have an equal and opposite reaction and just come faster than ever, right back at you, and it's going to keep happening. This situation may occur with other people in other places, in other spaces. The same type of thing is going to keep showing up right in your face until you take a breath and say, am I judging something here? Where am I in judgment? And then poof, once you recognize it and you go, aha, and you release that judgment, I'm not saying it might never happen again. Most likely it's going to come back one more time for you to say, oh yeah, I got it. All is well in all of creation. And this just is. And watch how fast it never shows up in your life again. So thank you very much for joining me. Enjoy all your transformations. Namaste.